What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs and their expansion list that was put out. I didn't get to this right away because I wanted to collect my thoughts. I wanted to see if there was any rumors or like a rumored side deal or anything like that. And I had mentioned in my previous video that I believed that there could be a side deal in place, not from sources that I've heard, because again, I don't have like these deep sources, but basically just from how weird it was that the Leafs got McCann and then only protected 4 forwards. We will get to that in a second, but if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I know there's a ton of people that watch these videos that aren't subscribed. I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, we're almost at 10K. It's very close. I mean, we might be there by the time this video's up, so thank you guys so much. But again, I'd really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe. But let's get into it, because the previous video I made, I was talking about how the Leafs acquired Jared McCann. Now, there was also a lot of people in that video that were like, oh, like, you know, why are you hyping McCann up? He's not that good of a player, blah, blah, blah. You can tell right away that people don't watch this guy play. He's a very good hockey player, and it looks like he's starting to hit his stride. He's young. He's only 25. And he's got just a freaking amazing wrist shot. Like, you guys need to watch this guy play before you make a comment on him. He's a good hockey player. Is he earth-shaking, amazing, guaranteed top 6 guy? No. But to me, he's a very high potential good player for that top 6. But the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to lose him. I believe that it's not Kerfoot that's going to be taken. I think Jared McCann is going to be taken. He's younger, he's cheaper, and it looks like he's just got a higher ceiling right now. I just think that it makes a little bit more sense. Now, I have a bit of a theory on the whole, why didn't the Leafs trade Kerfoot, or why did the Leafs acquire McCann? There's a very simple reasoning to this, and then there's a little bit more complex. The Toronto Maple Leafs knew, okay, if they take Kerfoot, we still have McCann. Oh, if they take McCann, we're right back to the drawing board. We have Kerfoot. So the logic here that I would think is that what's been the price for teams to not take a player? So Ron Francis is getting calls probably from teams around the league saying, hey, please don't take this player. We want you to take this guy. And Ron Francis is going, oh yeah, give me a first-round pick, or give me a second-round pick. Give me a first and a third, depending on the size of the salary. So the Toronto Maple Leafs are like, okay, let's call up Pittsburgh, a team that needs to lose a player here, and they're probably going to lose McCann regardless. We'll give up Philip Hallander, who was already in their system before, and we've already got a first round pick in that trade as well, so it's fine. He's a good prospect, and a 7th round pick. So we get a good quality player who's better than Hallander, who probably has a higher ceiling, and a 7th round pick. Which, by the way, I think Hallander's great. If you haven't watched his highlights, he actually looks pretty good. But they only traded Hallander in a 7th for a good player. So technically, if the Leafs were to be like, no, we don't want you to take Kerfoot, how much money would it, or how much picks or prospects or would it have cost when you trade with Seattle? So the Leafs are like, okay, we're not going to pay that high price. We're going to pay a lower price not to lose Kerfoot. So we're paying a lower price to lose McCann and keep Kerfoot. It's a little bit more complex, but they're basically not paying the price that Seattle wants them to pay to take a different player. They're paying a much cheaper price and could potentially lose Kerfoot but have a very good, younger, cheaper replacement. So the Leafs are a little smart in that aspect, but I just want to show you guys this. This is what they went with. Do I agree fully? No. I wish they would have protected more forwards, but again, it comes back to this. Justin Hall is cheap. He's $2 million, right-handed defenseman. You're not going to find a ton of those guys that grow on trees. I would like them to try Timothy Liljegren as well in that spot, but having more depth on the blue line is something that the Leafs need to continue to do. And I am a fan of Justin Hall, so keeping him is a good idea. Is there a chance that because Dave Haxtell is the coach that they go with Travis Dermott, a young defenseman that they want to give a shot to? It's very possible. It looks like there's going to be a mix of really good young and veteran defensemen on that team by the looks of the expansion draft lists. So it's very possible that Travis Dermott gets taken. And if that's the case, the Leafs forward depth is a little bit better, obviously, with acquiring Jared McCann. And I'm going to go back to him here. $2.9 million, only 25 years old, And just again, I showed this in the last video. 32 points in 43 games played last year with Pittsburgh. That's really good numbers. Previously 35 and 66. This is a solid pickup for the Leafs if he's able to stay on this team. But I honestly do believe he'll get taken instead of Kerfoot, who has $3.5 million on the next couple years on his contract. He has the modified no trade in the final year, so I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. But his point totals aren't as great as McCann. So I just think McCann's going to be the guy. But 6 points in 7 games in the playoffs for Kerfoot was pretty good. I don't know, maybe they're looking at that as well. But also, his base salary is pretty cheap. So that's another reason why Seattle might want to take him. So maybe McCann doesn't get taken just based off of money. The Leafs have already paid most of his contract through signing bonuses. So that's something to look forward to. But this is what the cap-friendly page looks like if you have McCann, Kerfoot, Hall, and Dermott. Hall is protected, so he's not going anywhere. If you lose Dermott to the expansion draft, you have about $7 million to replace a defenseman here, which could be Timothy Liljegren, and then maybe a re-sign Zach Bogosian for that added depth. And then you just need a backup goaltender and find a way to acquire another forward, probably by removing a little bit more salary in somebody like Pierre Engvall. But it's looking more and more like it's going to be right back to where we started, because I do believe McCann's going to be the one taken. So now the Leafs would have $8.5 million to replace another winger here. They need to get a good top 6 guy. So it's good to keep Kerfoot. It is good. You keep one of McCann or Kerfoot, that's good. You're not really losing too much. You get to replace somebody here, like a good $5 to $6 million player on the left side, and then get another backup goaltender, get a backup goaltender for the right price, and hopefully add a little bit more depth here with, like I said, if you re-sign Bogosian and add to here, that's fine. You can address this at the deadline if the blue line's not playing up to par. But let's say it's not McCann and it's Kerfoot. Obviously, because Kerfoot is a little bit more expensive, you have a little bit more money to play with here to get another centerman, or you go with another winger, or maybe you get a little bit of both. You get a couple cheaper guys at 3 and 3, so you get a couple depth moves here. Again, like I said, you could get rid of Engvall as well, give yourself over $10 million in cap space, and then address the backup goaltender position. So a lot of people that are saying the Leafs are screwed and they have no money and all this stuff like that, the Leafs actually can make some pretty decent upgrades this season. And if Nick Robertson comes up and can provide you 10 to 15 goals, that's already a really good replacement for a third liner or a second liner. That's better than Mikheyev. That's better than Engvall. So that's already an improvement there. You're bringing back Spezza on league minimum. My light just decided to go out. It's fine. You get Spezza back on league min. You get Simmons back. There's definitely ways that the Toronto Maple Leafs can still be good and acquire players and have the opportunity to be just as good, if not better, if they can allocate their money properly. But they need to do it in the playoffs. This can't just be we're going to be good again in the regular season, because guess what? A lot of people are going to lose their jobs in the offseason. You're going to see players that you like get traded. It's inevitable. So we'll have to see what happens, but I am very intrigued to see what happens in terms of the expansion draft. Is it going to be Kerfoot? Is it going to be McCann? I want you guys to let me know. Obviously, there's a trade freeze in effect right now. Nobody can make any moves, but there will still be rumors and stuff like that. So, teams can still call each other, I believe, and still make, handshake agreements. But those could change. But there's definitely a lot of information. There's still lots of news. There's lots of videos that I still need to make because there's lots to talk about. But again, if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, we're trying to get to 10K depending on when this video is up, because I know we're getting pretty close. But I want you guys to comment. Tell me down below what you want to see on this channel, what type of videos you want to see, what do you think is going to happen. And thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.